Hello and welcome to Atlas's Hero Guides. This one's going to be featuring Nico. So this one was the next couple requests from a few people, so I'm going to throw one on the card there for one of the people. So Nico's an interesting champion as they've just recently changed and buffed him. Before he was an engineer type hero, now he's PvP. So they've given him a lot more open field viability than what he had before, because expert mechanic now is HP bonus as well as march speed bonus of 15% once maxed out, and I believe before that was increasing your engineering speed. So this has really opened up a whole new avenue for using Nico in the field. So I myself, I was going to start as an archer main, now I'm mages. So as you can see, PvP kills only at 1 million. I haven't really played with Nico much in the open field. So starting off with the skills review, we have Piercing Shot. Deals damage to the target legion, inflicting defensive break as minus 15% and 1400 skill damage factor. Absolutely solid. 15% defensive reduction. Oh, forgot to mute that. So that's solid for dealing bonus damage. We already went over Expert Mechanic. Gives you the HP bonus as well as the March Speed bonus of 15% and 10%. Legion Marksman unit gains 12% attack and 5% defense. This one's going to come up as one of the talent trees. So keep in mind 20% when this is maxed out and 10%. And then his fourth skill is normal attack damage bonus of 20% and counter attack damage bonus of 20%. When casting Rage skill, Legion gains Onslaught and Riposte, increasing normal attack and counter attack damage for 5 seconds. This effect to be triggered every 7 seconds. Okay? And then his Awakening ability is when Nico's Legion launches a normal attack on a targeted Legion that already has defensive break. So defensive break you get from your Rage skill. They have an 80% chance to deal additional damage of 200. So if you've already used this and you already have negative defensive break, then you can deal extra bonus damage. So that's the overview. Heading straight into the talent tree. What I'm going to use is I'm going to have two different talent trees for you today. This one's going to be a behemoth killer. And then the other one I have for the open field. So it's going to be slightly different, and you can use the open field talent tree as the behemoth killer. So like most of your other heroes in the game, you're going to follow this loop here into areas of precision. And then what I would do for behemoths is I'm going to go with the marksman tree first. You're going to pick up what you have to here for damage. Then I'm picking up held high. Launching a normal attack gains more rage. And then I'm increasing 4% increased damage on the rage ability. And then I'm here with bullseye. So bullseye, when your legion consists entirely of marksmen, they gain attack of 10%, and then they lose attack as they launch attacks. But this isn't focused on attack, it's just increasing the attack is what the focus is here. You could also use shower of blows. That's also viable. Both of them you could use. I haven't done any testing to see which one's better. This is 50% chance that you deal more damage. So either or, whatever one you want to pick there, that's kind of dealer's choice. Now up here, we have marksman HP, which is whatever. But behind that is Delight, which increases rage accumulation. And then here, reduces your defense, but increases your damage dealt by 3%. And then for the final point, I've put in Pursuit. When your legion consists entirely of marksmen, they inflict fragility when casting rage skill, increasing normal attack damage by 10% for 5 seconds. You can also grab Burst Shot. Totally viable to grab Burst Shot as well. When your Marksman Legion launches a normal attack, they deal additional damage of 150 damage factor. Either or. Again, dealer's choice. Either or for these, either or for these. Really, they're pretty much whatever slice of life you want. Then for behemoths, gone into the PvP tree, increasing damage, increasing more damage, a little bit of rage accumulation, and then again more about the rage skill. And then finally, Army of Valor, popping it off with gaining 3% increased damage. So this here is more of a rage accumulation and then focusing on your rage skill damage. So that's the focus of tree number 1. This is going to be the worst tree out of the 2. The second tree here is focusing on the precision tree. This is going to be the stronger tree. Now this one here, I will note that we are at 6% march speed here, 10%, so we're at 16% plus 15 here. So you're at the 31% march speed, okay? So if you're pairing all of your, let's say, your 5-bombing archers, you're going to want all of them to be around the same march speed. So this is a 31%. You could drop the 10 here and go 21%, and you just move it here. So you can move this to here if you're doing a 21%, but I would recommend you do a minimum of 31% increased march speed for the field. So just like the same, we take the regular same 3. We're going to go precision first. So you're going to go here, take your damage, take your march speed, and then here. Counterattack damage. That's the one you're going to want to take here. That I'll kind of explain counterattack damage in a moment here. Next, invincible. When launching a normal attack, your Legion has a 10% chance to gain onslaught, increasing their normal attack damage by 8%. So we're focusing on normal attack. This is when your rage skill isn't being activated every second. So every turn you do 1 normal attack, and that's what this is increasing. Okay. Then we're here, and your Legion deals 10% more normal attack when their unit count is above 50%. Great. So if you're above 50%, you're doing 10% bonus damage. Holy. Right? Because that's 10% there, 2% there. Huge. Then we're focusing more on normal attack with this build. When launching normal attacks, we get crit rate bonus of 8%. And then Unstoppable just deals 15% more normal attack crit damage. 15%. Oh. So up here, we've got Mighty Slash, which then gives us an extra normal attack. Mark of War. Increase the attack of your Legion by 0.5% every 10 seconds up to a maximum of 3%. Unless you're dealing with behemoths, I don't see a point in this one. Syndrion or dealing with behemoths. Those are the only 2 times that I would take Mark of War. Other than that, I'm taking Mighty Slash. We're putting 1 point into suppression, and this just means every 1 out of 4 rage skill cycles, we're increasing our normal attack by 2%. So this took us 5 points to get that 2%, or this we're getting the 2% with 1 point there. After that, after we get the precision tree first, then we're going into the marksman tree. We get the damage here, and then you get the middle damage here. Now, if you want more march speed, if you want to do more march speed, you could switch over from here to here. Okay. But right now, if I'm running marksman, I'm running 31% march speed, kind of around there, around the 30 to 32%. So I'm not taking that. We're taking the damage. We're taking more damage here. This reduces the attack range, but increases the attack bonus. You could switch that for here for dealing more skill damage. So if you want to keep your range, then go down here. Probably better. Should do that. And then Shower of Blows again. or bullseye, whichever one you prefer. So actually, we are going to reset that. We're going to do it this way while we're in the video. So, like I said, for here, it's dealer's choice. If you're playing, this is more of a poke. You poke in and out, so you might take the bullseye. We're going to get the march speed, get the counterattack damage. Why not this one here? Your Legion deals 1% less skill damage, but increases their attack damage. So, you could also get this. I'm taking the counter strike. And we're going to look at that, why I'm doing that. And last point into here. So there's also launching a normal attack has 10% chance to get extra rage. You could do rage cycling, but this is about normal attack. And why are we focusing on the normal attack and the counter attack? Well, one, we've got the counterattack bonus of 20% here, and normal attack. Also, marksman physical attack bonus, 20%. So the better tree is the precision tree, and our extra skill damage factor, 1400, that's complementing. That's complementing our normal attack. So this is a normal attack build, and then we're getting the defense reduction that's applying to our normal attacks, and we're just going to absolutely obliterate because the skill damage factor comes in. Now, next up is who do you pair with Nico? Okay, so as a free-to-play, low spender, you're going to pick your Guanwin. You're going to start off with your elves. You're going to start off as Spring Wardens. You're going to get Guanwin awakened, and you're going to pair her with Nico. Okay, you're going to run Nico as your primary and Guanwin as your secondary as your peacekeeping. That's most likely what you're going to do. Reason that you're going to run peacekeeping is so you can get war trophy for when you're running rallies and other stuff in the field. So that's what I would do there is Nico Guanwin. Now you can run Nico also with Mu. That's another solid pick because here we're going to get healing granted bonus 10%. We're going to get some healing factor. What that's going to do is that's going to counterattack damage in the field. So when you're attacking an enemy, such as their infantry, their marksmen, their mages, that counterattack, it's going to negate that. It's going to negate some of that counterattack. And then here we've got an extra 18% increase in Legion attack. So we're focusing on that attack, focusing on that precision tree, complementing our normal attack and our physical attack. So Mu's another good one with Guanwin. If you are a low spender, free to play, those are the two epic heroes that you're going to do. Now, if you're more of a pay to win, you're a dirty pay to play player, you're going to pick up Kinara. Now, Kinara is going to be a better primary for behemoths in my opinion, but when it comes to the precision tree is just way better than the marksman tree. So I would use the marksman tree for behemoths, and that's what Kinara looks like. So if you want to take a quick screenshot of it, this is what I am running for my behemoth killer. So I would run Kinara primary and then Nico secondary. Now in the open field, we're running Nico primary and Kinara secondary. Now again, here, Kinara's force skill, physical counterattack damage bonus of 30%. Right here, counterattack damage 20%. Looking at the talent, so then we're grabbing this, grabbing us an extra 40%. So we're already at 54% increased counterattack damage bonus. Yeah, that's why. So now somebody is going to, their mages come up to try and hit your archers. They're going to be taking a ton of damage. They're going to be taking a ton of counterattack damage. Now see here, normal attack damage bonus, 20% with Kinara. right? Physical attack bonus, 30%. So that's why we're going into the precision tree and we're dealing all of this extra normal attack damage. That's the build. It's the precision tree or Behemoth as marksman. Now there is also Hosk. You could run Hosk, but I would pair my Kanara with my Nico. That's what I would do and free up Hosk for another march. But you could do Hosk because you do get the extra crit rate, counterattack. You get the extra, troops right here. You get the extra 15,000. You also get the normal attack damage bonus. You get some attack bonus, HP. But ultimately, what I would do for my Nico is I would run Nico with Guanwin, Nico with Mu, or Nico with Kanara. Okay. So, yeah, as you can see, I have used Kanara a bit for 15 million so far for kills. I think that's actually higher than my Lilia. So, we've also used some Den. And then I haven't used Guanwin at all. I don't think I've used her at all. Yeah, 0. So, now moving on to artifacts. Artifacts, you've got a few different options here. Right here, your Shadow Blades. So your Shadow Blades is probably going to be the #1 choice that you're going to use. Deals diffuse damage to up to 5 enemy legions. We've got the marksman unit attack, legion attack, damage taken, and damage dealt right there. So this is going to be probably your bread and butter artifact for if you're using Nico as your main. Why? Because if we go here to rewards, you've got this chest here at the end. If you pay for your insight rune and you get this chest, it will give you, where are you, Nico? It will give you this. So you can level up the Shadow games every season. You can get another point into that. So it's what, $15? And that's what you're going to get for your end of season rewards. That's why I would recommend this. Another honorable mention is going to be the Heart of Kamasi. Fantastic. It's just going to give you a bunch of extra defense. It's going to give you more physical attack to 2 nearby friendly legions and Onslaught, which already, what are we doing? What's the focus? The precision tree, stacking extra attack, stacking extra damage on those auto attacks. So this is going to give you the defense to just stay in the field a little bit longer. We're pumping out the counterattack damage, so if somebody's attacking you, you're doing a massive amount of counterattack damage back to them while then having the defense to negate it. Now, outside of that, if you're going to run an epic, the Steelheart Avenger is a solid epic artifact to run. And then after that, you could run the Heart Piercer, but I would probably run the Steelheart Avenger first, and then the Heart Piercer if you don't have this one here. War pets. Going on to war pets. Your war pet is going to be the Shadow Manticore. So I know it's not that great, my Shadow Manticore, but we're slowly building it up. So why Shadow Manticore? Shadow Manticore is just going to give you extra damage, also a little bit of healing. And so that's just going to give you that extra healing to stay in the field, to negate some of that counterattack damage, and to deal damage of your own. So Shadow Manticore is going to be the pet that I'm going to recommend that you run with your Nico Guanwin, with your Nico Mu. Now, however, if you have Kanara Awakened, Kanara Awakened inflicts defensive break on the target through normal attack. And then we have defensive break with Nico on his skill there. So if you have Kanara Awakened, this is a big if, right? If you're free to play, low spender, you're not going to have that Kanara Awakened. That's Behemoths, Beasts. see, Snow Peak Rock. 30% chance to deal damage to a legion when inflicting defensive break. You only use the Snow Peak Rock if your Kanara is awakened. So this isn't for low spender, free to play. This is for your, if you're going to be awakening Kanara, focusing everything on her, then you're going to be using a Snow Peak Rock right down here, Kanara Nico. Right? If you're not awakening Kanara, then you're using the Shadow Manticore. Okay? So that's the difference there of the difference of pets and what you're going to use. Now you can use the Chain Strike package, you can use the Fierce Attack package. You got a few different options there for your pets and how you want to build them. What I have is just crit rate. I need to change out hit weakness there. I've got Angry Roar, then I've got Chain Strike and Fatal Bite. So I can put an advanced Chain Strike instead of that, or we can, let's see if I have it. There we go. Or I can slot in Tooth and Claw. That's it. So I can put Tooth and Claw or Advanced Chain Strike instead of hit weakness. Now, great place to go is the Call of Dragons. Actually, let's pull it up here. We go Call of Dragons. Guides right here. Right here is a quick guide on how to build your pets. Now, it hasn't been updated in a while, but really, overall, this is a great place and a great resource to go to for building pets. So that's just going to be a great base. So that's my Nico guide as requested. So if anyone has any other guides, please put it in the comment on what you would like to see, what heroes you would like to see next, and hope you guys are having fun.